Hello guys and welcome to Frank's Handyman. Today we're going to be putting on some gutters. But of course, before we put the new ones, we have to take out all of the older ones. As you see here, we're going to be doing all this building, and we're going to start off with the right side. Eventually they'll do the others as well, but for today this one was the main focus. It was a foggy day, as you can see here, but right now, like I mentioned, they're going to start taking out all the pieces out. This metal rod right here, he's going into the back side of the gutter and then just taking out everything that was nailed on there, and then that way he could just start pulling it off. Now that they finished taking out the remaining of the gutters, they're going to be doing all the measuring. They're going to go about halfway of this building and then stop there and then start the other measurement to the other end of the building. And as they finish doing all the measurements, as you see here, our other colleague is just taking apart all the old gutters there. That way they could fit it in the truck. But this is the main machine that makes all of the gutters, as you're going to see now. Right now he's going to be drying out and measuring all the angles that he has to make, because they have to be at an angle, because at the end they're going to be connecting, so he has to make sure they have the right angle. That way it fits perfectly. For this part right here, as you're going to see, he started cutting this section, and you're going to see later on why. And the reason they use these tools right here, it's that way when the gutter's expanding, it will be able to hold it, and that way it doesn't bend. And it also allows him to do all the measurements, as you're going to see here. Right now, as you see, these are the gutter hangers. They're gonna be putting them at least 2.5 feet away from each other, and then they're also gonna be nailing it down. There is some different ones where they already have the nail attached to it, so all you have to do is use the screw and screw it on, but they have both, so it doesn't really matter which one you use. And now, as you see, now they have the piece already cut off, so they're gonna be moving it into the back side of the building. And right now what they're gonna do is adjust it and put it on a hook that's right there on the right side of the building, and then start screwing on the screws that are gonna be holding it. And they're trying to maintain a certain distance, that way the weight holds well. And as you can see, they lift the roof up a little bit, that way they could fit in that metal gutter right there, and then that way there's no space, so there's no leaks. And then once that's done and ready, then they start screwing on all of the screws and as well as the gutter hangers. And now that they put this on the back side, they're going to be putting now a different piece on the side of the house, and that's the piece that he's working on right now. He's again just doing all the measurements and then doing all the outline that he's going to be cutting. And now that we have it done, we're just going to bring it up and attach it and then put on some screws on there. As you see, this is the end that I was talking about, why you have to cut it in a certain angle, that way they connect at the very end, as you see here. And then he's going to put on about 7 screws and then also put some caulking, that way it hides the crack, and it also, that way no water will go through. And now that we got this one connected and they put all the caulking here, as you see, he's just gonna hammer a little bit on the back side, that way it also holds a little bit better. And they're gonna start now working on the other longer piece as we're gonna be going on the back side. They're gonna be repeating the same steps as they did on the first one, just doing all the measuring and then doing all the outlining. The only difference with this one is that this one is going towards the right side, towards the end of the house, and they have to do a little hole right here, that way they could fit in the other gutter that brings down the water and drains it out. And then he's just gonna hammer this in there and then also put some caulking. That way, like I mentioned, no water goes through. And this is right here, this is what I mentioned where the little hole goes that connects the other gutter that's going to be draining out the water. And now they're going to start putting all of the roof hangers again, and you're going to be able to see that time lapse. And now right here, this is where the two pieces are going to be conjoined, and what he's going to be doing is putting some caulking under it. And right here, he's also going to be cutting this little piece. That way the piece of metal can go under the other one and it would be flush, and it just looks like one piece, as you're going to see right here. Now he's just going to be putting on some screws on there as well. Now that he finished putting all the roof hangers here, now they moved on to put on the other piece on the side of the house. And again, he's going to be also conjoining this ends right here. So he's just going to be taking out this little piece and also screwing it from the side. Like I mentioned, he's going to be putting on in total 7 screws on there, and then also putting the caulking. Once they got done with this end, as you can see, this is all that they've done so far. Now the only thing that's left is going to be all of the front one. And for the front one, they're going to be doing the same steps that they did for the back one. So right now, you're just going to be looking at them screwing everything on. And this is what it meant. This is the hanger that they put it on while they are holding it before they put on the screws. At this point, all that's left to do is cut this piece and put it on there, and as well as putting all the roof hangers. Once they got to this point, all they had to do, like I mentioned, is just put this last piece, and then they were done for this side of the building. Of course, they still have to finish the remaining, but for this one, it was all done after this. Tomorrow we'll have a different project, so stay tuned, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow. I hope you guys have a great day.